The 24-hour Nürburgring pack, or Green Hell, or Nordschleife, whichever you want to call it, is now here in ACC. So let me take you through everything you need to know about the pack, the patch notes that came along with it, as well as a little bit of a sneaky Easter egg from Kunos that involves Assetto Corsa 2. So let's talk about the pack first. Obviously it's going to PC. You know the drill, it's going to come to console later on. There's no date, there's no estimation. You're just going to have to wait a little bit, console players, unfortunately, because that's how they are doing ACC. So here's a fun fact for you. You got a new all-time Steam peak for the amount of concurrent players at any one time. It's a new record of 12,376 players from the previous 9,416 from April last year, which was at the time of the launch of the 2023 GT World Challenge pack, which is no surprise because everybody loves Nords. Talking of Nords, if you want to go offline onto it, you can have up to 50 cars going around the track. Or if you want to go online, that's 110 cars. And if you're slightly unfamiliar of how big the track is, it's 25.3 kilometers with over 70 bends. One of the hardest tracks in the world. In fact, it is the hardest track in the world. And you can get this for a price of £9.99. That's in Great British pounds. If you convert that to your own currency from wherever you're from, you will kind of see that's quite cheap. Kunos tend to price these either roughly £15 or £10. They've gone with the slightly lower price for this. You only get Nords with it, which we weren't expecting anything else. And I think that's quite a good bargain, considering the amount of effort, the amount of quality, and how big this track is. So thank you, Kunos, for that generous price. You can get it for a tenner. Now, a couple things you might want to know about this track. It does feature a cutback to the GP layout. So before you go left onto the main Nordschleife layout, you can actually come back to the GP layout. So you don't have to necessarily do an entire outlap of the entire thing, so you can effectively skip the outlap if you so want to. And also the chicane before that, before you go into the Nords or the cutback, they've added a big fat yellow sausage curb. So if you're used to the GP circuit without that yellow sausage curb, yeah, I would watch out for that. That's really all you need to know about the DLC, but what about the update that came with it? This is update 1.10, so for general updates, they have added, alongside the DLC, they've added the Alpine Esports liveries for 2024. For gameplay and UI, they've implemented Joker Lap logic for Nordschleife for the AI. They've tweaked the scheduling of how AI cars leave the pit lane in multi-class race weekend sessions. The AI race strategy now takes into account individual AI skill, potentially fixing issues with the AI missing mandatory pit stops. They've also improved the AI blue flag rules in multi-class racing, especially with faster cars unlapping themselves. They've also fixed an error of DLC dependencies in various championship seasons. They've also removed the overpowered presentation entries from AI opponents in the GT2 season. For physics, they've improved the damper simulation and the global tweaks to GT2 BOP. They've also done tweaks to the Ferrari 488 Challenge Evo and the Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo Evo 2 to match their pace with the GT2 class. Now, after it came out, they had to do a bit of a hot fix, and that was a potential fix to a crash due to missing BOP data for the two vehicles. I believe loads of people, when they tried to launch Nordschleife yesterday, had this fatal error. This may have fixed this. And that's all the patch notes that came with the update. Relatively small updates today. Let's talk about the Easter egg that I mentioned at the start of the video. So, Kunos were a little bit sneaky. Now, if you go around the GP circuit or even use the cutback to go around again, you'll notice in that part of the circuit, there's a big digital board that goes between the year 2024 and a QR code. Now, what does that QR code do, you may ask? Well, it takes you to a website. assettocorsa.gg/assetto-corsa-evo. Oh, what's that then? This is evidently the name of Assetto Corsa 2, Assetto Corsa Evo. And there's a mailing list that you can sign up with your email if you want to have up-to-date news from them directly into your inbox. And that's all it kind of does. They kind of teased it, basically. Now, if you don't know the latest news of Assetto Corsa 2, there is not much, but we do know the Assetto Corsa 2 was slightly delayed due to them trying to finish the Nordschleife DLC, which is now obviously out, so now they can focus the rest on AC2 and maybe bug fixes and stuff, and the console release for this for ACC. But as far as we know generally, we believe they're on track for the summer 2024 early access release. But Digital Bros if you look at their financial reports for the first half of the fiscal year being, well, in the UK, the fiscal year is from April to April. So the first half being 6 months from now, AC2 was not actually mentioned, but the Nords DLC was mentioned, and that's how we knew about the release date before they actually announced it. So it could be coming later than we think it is from that summer 2024 early access release, but it could not be. Plans change, we'll have to wait and see, because there's not been an actual official announcement, but it is seemed that they're starting to tease it, especially from in-game of ACC. So that's just something we're just going to have to wait and see. And that's it. That's everything I need to cover today. That is the Easter egg, that is the patch notes, and that is the Nords DLC. I would like to know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you liking it? Are you disliking it? What do you think of it? I think it's a great addition to ACC. It's one of my favorite sims, so it's good to have this, and it is a perfect opportunity for me to actually learn the track for once. But we'll see about that, shall we? If you enjoyed this video and like to see more content like this one, make sure you are subscribed. I cover other games in the racing and simulation genre, so if that does interest you, you can stick around, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.